Your time has expired. Senator Lyons.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. I rise to take note of answers to questions asked today by Labor to various government ministers about the budget. And I've got to say, for a moment there, I thought we were on adjournment, because all we've heard from the government is everything else except to talk about the budget, because they don't want to talk about the budget. They've had the last 5 weeks making gaffe after gaffe about all sorts of issues, whether it's poor people don't drive, whether it's women don't do science degrees, whether it's about women and cancer and abortion. Like, they've just gone on and on and on. And today in here, Labor sought to ask proper questions to give scrutiny to their harsh, cruel budget in this place. And what did they do? For the whole of question time, and indeed this time afterwards, they simply try and avoid scrutiny. Well, the Australian public are not fooled by the government, and the Australian public has worked out for itself, because their budget is so harsh and so cruel. There's barely a person in this country who's not impacted by the budget. And what did they promise? What did they promise? All those lies they told before the election. We won't cut health. We won't cut education. There'll be no cuts to pensions. And we've seen the complete reversal of that. And it doesn't matter. It does not matter what type of spin they try and put on this, whether they try and avoid things by having a go at Labor. And when we just heard Senator Smith from Western Australia, where today the Barnett Liberal government has again dropped our credit rating, go on and on about Labor this and Labor that. Well, let me remind them, they're in government, it's their budget that's under scrutiny, and it is the role of the opposition to scrutinise their budget. And the Australian people have also been scrutinising a budget where we were promised no cuts to health, and yet that's what we've seen. Big cuts to health, cuts to education and health worth $80 million. And where did the GP tax come from? A thought bubble by a former Howard government advisor that somehow Australians were overusing their GP services. Where's the proof of that? Where's the research? Where's the academic papers on that? There are none. And what this government has been very good at doing, what the Abbott government has been very good at doing, is simply making it up. Making it up. And then they try and tell us, and more recently we've had Senator Cormann putting a new spin on it, because again they're a little bit like the baseball team that's losing. Next batter up. So first we had Mr Hockey try and sell the budget. He got a big fail. And then we had Senator Brandis come out and try and sell aspects of their policy around racial discrimination in this country. Big fail from him. He got sent back to the bench. And then we had Senator Betts on TV embarrass the government to the point where the Prime Minister had to pull him into line. So he's back on the bench. And now we've got Senator Cormann batting for the Team Abbott, trying to sell their ridiculously harsh and cruel budget that no one in this country except themselves seem to be hoodwinked about. The GP tax, the tax on prescriptions, the tax on other health services, where's the research on that? There is nothing to indicate that Australians are overusing GPs. And in actual fact, what GPs do in this country, they are the gatekeeper to additional services. And if someone goes to the doctor, I don't know how many times is too many times for the government. Maybe if you go more than obviously 10 times in a year, that's too many. But maybe there are underlying reasons why people are visiting their GP. Maybe there's some mental health issues. Maybe there's some family issues. But no, the government doesn't want to do its homework and actually ask GPs what's going on. So today, the government will give itself a slap on the back and say, well done, government, we avoided scrutiny on our budget. Well, you're wrong, because the Australian public have given you a big fail for your budget, a big fail for your budget. They're not hoodwinked. So you can sit in this chamber and carry on about Labor and this and that and anything else that you care to do and not answer questions about the budget, but no one's fooled. No one's fooled except yourselves. It's time to look in the mirror and realise that your budget's
Order, Senator.
gone.
Your time has expired.